What up, infidels? We're here now. We're out here. We're doing it. Good to see you. Hopefully, you had a good Christmas time. Little Christmas cheer. You know, a little. Hope you had a little Christmas. Hope you had a little Christmassy vibe. As someone who doesn't celebrate Christmas, I was talking about this with my mom. As someone who doesn't celebrate Christmas, it's like I still enjoy it. You know what it is? Christmas Day feels awesome. Christmas Day feels so nice. It's just the energy, the vibe. It's everyone's happy. Everyone's like, the energy in the air is that it's Christmas. You know, there's that famous World War One story where the German side and the British side, they got up and they like met each other and had got out of the trenches and had Christmas Day with each other. And then, it's just a famous, it's just a famous good vibe day. Christmas is a famous good vibe day. And, I needed it. I had, hopefully you guys had a good week. I had a rough week. Here's the week. Here's what happens. And usually my mom doesn't like it when I talk about this sort of stuff, but hey, it is what it is. I gotta be honest. I gotta live my truth. I had a big live my truth weekend. And, what had happened is I smoked a dab. A dab. Do you guys know if you guys don't know what a dab is, it's just super concentrated weed. It's like super concentrated weed. It's like you need a rig, you need like a blowtorch to smoke it. It's a lot's going on. So I smoked a dab, and then I had what I can only describe as a mental break. And I kind of known I needed to like slow down on the weed for a while now. It was like for sure a thing I needed to do. But this situation was like, okay, I gotta step away. For a little bit, because my entire adult life I've been getting high, and it's like, I've never spent like a significant amount of time. I guess when I was home, I did spend some time sober, but like when I was home for the pandemic, but that wasn't real, right? That wasn't like, that was a pause button on everything. You know what I mean? But I haven't spent like an actual adult life, a significant part. I've never spent an actual significant part of adult life. I got there. I got the words out kind of sober. But so it's like, I gotta take a break. I gotta get away. It was a lot. I called this girl I was seeing, threw a grenade on that relationship. Longest relationship I've ever been in, almost a year. Just threw a grenade on that. I told, with my truth at the time, it was a little bit of the truth, a lot of exaggeration, because I was like in this paranoid state. But I kept talking. When you share too much, too quickly. We weren't there in our relationship. The things I was saying, just telling her the truth about my past and all the stuff I used to do when I was in my early 20s. And it was, she's a nice girl. It was a little too much, and time will tell if it's salvageable, but if it feels like it's done. But it's okay. It's okay if it is. At least I went out telling the truth. You know what I mean? At least I went out. All the things all that pressure that had been building inside of me had came out. And then I called my mom, told her all the crazy stuff about my past that you probably shouldn't tell your parents. But I was open and honest with her. And then I was like, I need to stop smoking weed. Told her that. And then I drove home from the club, which I should not have done. I was not in the mental. I was not nearly sober enough to drive home, but I was panicking. I was like full-blown panic attack. Couldn't be around people. Had to go home. On my way home, if you've ever been down Austin, there's a street called Lavaca downtown that's straight, just pure straight, like 10 red lights, right? So I'm at the first of like 10 red lights, and I'm in my car. Pretend Kamel's my car. Then another car comes up to me here. Another car comes up to me here. So on both sides of me, same time, stop. Then behind me, there's a third car. Now, I don't know if I've ever told a story about getting robbed on here before, but I'll tell you after this story, I guess. This is just the story of the bad things that have happened to me. But that's exactly how I got robbed. I got robbed in LA in person, on the street, walking on the sidewalk. Two people walked up next to me. One person walked up behind me. That's how we got robbed. It felt like that exact same scenario. That's what it felt like because of the way the cars came up. Felt like, okay, why would they come up at the exact same time next to me? So it has that same feeling. I feel, but whether or not they were actually like maybe trying to rob me, or whether or not it was in my own head because I was in a state of deep paranoia, who knows, right? So I crossed the first red light. They follow. Because my thought process is, if I cross the red light, they'll look at me like I'm crazy. I cross the second red light. They follow. Then I start going through red lights. Now I'm going like, the streets are empty. Thank God. It's Christmas time in Austin. Everyone has left. And, but I'm going through no cops, going through red lights, and they keep following me, right? Maybe 7 or 8 red lights down the road, the person to my right veers to the right, person behind me follows him. Oh, sorry, takes a left. Actually, it's a left, right? The person to my left takes a left down on the street. The person behind me follows him. Person to my right is about to take a right. He stops, and he turns back, and he comes back next to me. And now I'm in full blown freak out. Now I take a left turn against the light. He follows me against the light. So now I'm like, okay, bro, this guy is following me. Now, whether or not he wants to rob me, or whether or not he's like, oh, I'm gonna report this guy who's crossing a bunch of red lights to the cops. Maybe he's doing that. Either way, if you're doing that, don't follow the guy. He shouldn't have followed me. I'm able to shake him, and but I'm so paranoid. I don't go back to my apartment. I get a hotel room to spend the night in the hotel. That's how paranoid I am. And I went, just complete break from reality, I think. Or not a complete break from reality. The guy was following me, but a break from reality at some level. And I'm watching my cat trying to get the toy he knocked in under my door. It's really funny. But yeah, so I had that happen to me, and so I went home, and I just, spent. That's why I like the Christmas break. It was to get my mind right. You got to get your mind right, and it's maybe this is an overshare. Maybe I shouldn't even be sharing it with you guys, but it's like, it is what it is. This is what the whole point. This is kind of like a diary, right? This is kind of like a diary, and so yeah, that's why I needed to go home. I went home. I did nothing. I plugged in my Kindle for the first time in a while, and I forgot how much I loved the Kindle. Just read books nonstop. How many books did I read when I was home? One. I read one for sure. Two. I think I read 3 books. Could it have been 4? I read 4 books. I read 4 books when I was home in 5 days. Just clearing my mind. 4 books. Man, dude, a Kindle, great buy. If you're thinking of stuff you should have got your friends for or loved ones for Christmas, if you're like, man, I really whiffed on this gift, and you have someone in your life that loves to read and they don't have a Kindle, get them a Kindle. If you whiffed, if you straight up swung and missed, and you're like, man, I need a damage control gift. Or you're just nice and you're like, man, they deserve this gift. Someone in your life who reads a lot, get them a Kindle, dude. That shit is fire. I'm gonna download more books the second this is over, dude. I'm gonna download more books the second this is over. I'm downloading more books. Love it. Right now I'm into mysteries, and bro, some of these mysteries are dark. They're so dark. The last book I read, the murderer cuts off this woman's head and makes out with it, and I was like, yeah, this is a story. I was like, yeah, this is what I need. And and then my mom called me for dinner, and I was like, damn, I gotta go up to dinner. And then I unzipped my pants, I re-zipped my pants up, and I was like, yeah. I put the lotion away. No. It was, what's funny? I read a lot of dark mysteries. Like, I love the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. But as I was reading that passage, it was a murderer. All right. I forgot what the book was called. Fuck. Let me look at what the book was called right now. Okay. It's The Violet Dargar is the name of main character. It's like a series. She's like an FBI agent. Violet Dargar. Literary series. Series of books called... Which is it? Dead End Girl. That's what it's called. It's called Dead End Girl. And, yo, I don't... No. No, it's not Dead End Girl. Oh, it is Dead End Girl. Okay. I was reading that, and so if you've read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo or watched the movie, you know that's messed up. There's a lot of incest. There's a lot of sexual assault, all that sort of stuff going on. The murder, straight murder. It's rough. It's dark. It's amazing. Amazing book. If you love mysteries, if you haven't read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, you got to read that. Needless to say, I'm not shocked that much at all when I read. Right? I love mysteries, always dark. Right? There's always somebody getting sexually assaulted in so many mysteries. It's insane. But regardless, I read this Dead End Girl. There is this one passage where the killer keeps this head, this decapitated head, for like 3 days, so it's like decaying, and the skin is sliding off of it, and he's just making out with the head, and I'm like, who is this? What? This is the first time I've read a book where I was like, dude, what? Who is this author? What is this author going through? I mean, out of all the twisted stuff I've read, this is pretty. It was pretty up there. It was pretty up there. Not a bad book though. Decent enough mystery. I would have liked there to be. I like my mysteries to have twists a little bit, like twists and turns. It was more of a straightforward mystery where they find the guy and like, this is the guy. But I like it when the killer is someone you've met earlier. I like more Agatha Christie mysteries where it's like, okay, is it the friend, the butler, the gardener, the wife, the uncle, or the niece? Like, you have 6 characters and it's one of them, and they all have motives, and they all are like, the niece is stealing, and the wife there's a lot of infidelity, and the gardener got wronged in the past, and you're like, ooh, how did it all come together? I like those types of mysteries. It turns out I don't need you to make out with decaying heads. I don't need that. I'll read it, and I'll definitely jerk off to it, but I don't need it. I don't need it. It definitely makes me feel whole and sexually stimulated, but I don't need it. Oh, God, dude. It was nuts. The reason why I picked it up, too, in the Kindle, there's a bunch of free books that they give you. Like, they cycle through free books every once in a while, and that was one. And I was like, oh, look at this mystery. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to read the second one in the series. It seems like it might be a little much. And this is what I binge watched Criminal Minds when I first moved to Austin. I'm used to stuff being a little much, and that was like, it was just that was a grotesque book. Grotesque. It was interesting though, the way they sort of figured out who it was and how they did it. Although, you know what it was? You know what I didn't like about it? It was one of those things where it's like, oh, you could have done that at the beginning of the book. You didn't need all that stuff in the middle of it. You didn't need 400 pages. If that was the first thing you thought about doing when you came to the crime scene, you would have figured it would have been done. That's the thing. There is like, oh, you didn't need like 400 pages of the book. You didn't need it. I didn't need to have him making out with the head. It could have easily been avoided. It's not like she figured out who the killer was because of the clues she picked up along the way. No. It was like on some like, oh, what was the first thing a witness said? Let me go over that. Oh, well, now let me actually look into it. That's what it was. So, the Violet Dargar series. Do you need to read it? No. You absolutely don't. You absolutely do not. But the overall point being, before I got here, the overall point being is that if you know someone who you whiffed on their gift and they love to read, dude, Kindle, pretty good. It was $100, worth it. Got my money's worth almost immediately. got my money's worth this past week. Now, obviously, that's probably not the best thing to be reading if I'm trying to get my mind right. But no, I just needed to just get off like being high and the wanting to be high and like it's too much. It's taken up a little, I wasn't having fun anymore. I was like, people don't, the problem with weed is that everyone talks about weed like, oh, it's not physically addictive. So it's not addictive. And it's like, yo, this shit is psychologically absolutely addictive. I felt like I needed it. I felt like I needed it to keep going. What am I gonna do with it? I'm so bored. I'm so sad. What am I gonna do with my day? I'll get high. I'll get high. It'll fill up the time. It's like, I wasn't getting the same utility that I was getting out of it was when I first started. In my early 20s, I was having so much fun. Now I feel like I need it to feel a certain way. That's a scary place to be. And the paranoia, all the negative thoughts, they got in there. And yeah, it's and I'm not saying don't do drugs, do drugs if you want to do drugs, but you just gotta know like when is it messing with you in a way that's hurting your life, getting in the way of what you want to do. I spent so much time, high and just dwelling on these negative thoughts. Why am I not X in my career? Why doesn't this big comic fuck with me? Why doesn't, you know what I mean? And it's like, instead of focusing on like the positives and the working on getting myself better and, let me be funnier. Let me work on this. Let me do that. I have that whole Steve Harvey thing. I have a rough draft. I should spend, instead of getting high, there's so many times I could have just spent that hour just working on it, making it better. It'll be out sometime next year. I got to film a couple episodes. It's, right now the tentative title is Stand-Up Breakdown, and the idea is just to be a textbook for stand-up comedians. And people who want to see behind the curtain of stand-up, because I think there's a lot of interesting things there. But regardless, you've heard me talk about this over and over again. I'm trying to manifest it into the world, as we talked about yesterday. I'm trying to manifest. But yeah, that was the mental break. So hopefully your Christmas went well. Hopefully there was none of that. It was a rough December. Got into the car accident and then that. Rough month, I should say. Rough month. But it'll turn around from here. Manifesting that. Next year's my year. Next year's my year. So, that's exciting. Can't wait. Can't wait. Kind of taking it a little bit easy until the new year. Just just let myself relax. But the story of being robbed. So I got robbed in LA like my second year living there, and it was during the day too. It was just I was just walking down the sidewalk. No one was around, so it was like a very opportune robbery. And I'm walking down the sidewalk, and I see these 3 black dudes walking towards me, right? They're walking towards me, and my first thought was I should cross the street. That was my first thought. And then my second thought was like, oh, how racist am I being? This is really racist. Now, knowing what I know now is like it's not a race thing at all. I should just trust the gut feeling that I have. But my second thought was like, oh, I should, I'm just being racist. Just keep going. There's 3 black dudes just enjoying their day. And then I walked towards them, and then they robbed me. They robbed me. $80 in an iPhone. That's what I lost. Not bad, considering it could have gone way worse. Considering that, I could have gotten actually hurt. So $80 an iPhone, that's fine. That's a price I'll pay to learn a lesson. And that lesson, of course, is that it's better to be racist than sorry. I think that's the lesson. Oh, man. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, I saw this. This has been a trend on TikTok recently that I'm not a big fan of. I love the Marvel movies. I watched Spider-Man when it came out. opening weekend, yada yada. And I see this on TikTok now of people like in the movie theaters with their recording the screen and then the audience reaction. For those of you who haven't seen Spider-Man and want to and just haven't got around to it yet, there's a lot of big audience reaction moments. I'll keep it that, try not to spoil anything for you if you've somehow stayed spoiler free this entire time. Which is actually kind of impressive. If you stayed spoiler free and you really want to see Spider-Man, you're kind of a superhero in your own right. But there's a lot of audience reaction moments, and there's these TikTok videos recording the movie during these moments, and the whole point is to like, hey, listen to the theater's reactions, which is cool. I like seeing people react to a movie I love in a way that I reacted to. That's cool. But at the same time, if you're one of these people who's like recording the screen, I don't care what it's for. If you take out your phone and record the screen, you are garbage. You're garbage. I don't know how else to describe it. There's so many movies I've been to where someone takes out their phone and it takes you out of the experience. That phone light takes you out, like, my favorite part about Spider-Man is I was fully immersed. I was immersed. No one recorded. There was a phone went off. But sometimes phone goes off, and when you know what happens when the phone goes out? You're taken out of a moment. That's what happens. Derek, my friend Derek, you guys know Derek. His phone went off during The Quiet Place. I thought I was gonna die. But it happens. I ain't mad. If you took out your phone during that and recorded an important plot point, I would be furious. And if you're one of those people that are like, oh, I'll record this and get a bunch of TikTok likes, I hope you get hangnails. I hope you get paper cuts. I hope you feel bad. I hope you feel bad because you're wrong. You're wrong and you're bad, and never do that again. Stop doing that. That's what, you know who does that? Terrible people. Even Hitler would be like, that's too far. Don't take out your phone during the movies. That's just common courtesy. Common courtesy. Oh, we'll get likes. Fuck you, dude. I'm getting mad for the people around him. Or her. Just, what are you doing? Come on. You should know better than this. If you're an adult, you should know better than this. If you're a kid, somebody should yell at you about it. Because it's bad. It's bad. And I wanted to say it on the podcast so I could clip it up and put it on TikTok because you guys should know how wrong you are. You guys are wrong. So very wrong. Yeah. Oh. The worst movie theater experience I have was by far Coco. By far Coco. I was in Fresno when I watched Coco, which is part of it. I was in Fresno, California. And first of all, the whole preview, I'll never forget this. The whole preview, there was no previews for whatever reason. It was for whatever reason, instead of previews, there was a making of Coco. And it was a making of the scene where he first goes into the world of the undead. And it's this big, beautiful scene where you see it. He crosses the bridge and you see it. And it's supposed to be this big reveal. And look how beautiful it is. And it completely ruined that. Ruined the reveal because I already knew it was coming. I already knew what it looked like. So it was whatever. Also, completely empty theater. Me, Derek again, and Sam. The three of us. And empty theater. Fucking family sits right next to me at the end here, and another family sits right next to Sam. We're talking about one seat family, one seat other family. So they box us in. Whole theater to themselves. Could have sat anywhere, sits next to us. And the biggest problem is that these families were Mexican. No, I'm just kidding. No, the biggest problem is what if I ended? No, the biggest problem was these families. One was super talkative, wouldn't shut the fuck up the entire time, kept talking about everything that they were seeing in the movie. And the second family had a little kid. And not like a 4-year-old. A little kid, it was a baby. Because it's like, if it was a 4-year-old, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. That's about the time you bring them to their first movies. And like, look at how cool it is. And it's Coco. You know what I mean? It's this big it's like this big movie. It's an Oscar-winning movie. And like I said, they were a Mexican family. So it's like, I remember what it was like when Slumdog Millionaire came out. I was like, oh, dope. I mean, I get that. Seeing yourself on screen is huge. Don't bring a baby. Dude, the baby wouldn't stop crying. And they never took the baby out of the theater. Never took the baby out of the theater. The entire time the baby was wailing, the mom and dad just kept going, shh, shh. As if the baby was going to be like, oh, yeah, you're right. My bad. I'm the asshole here. It's been a rough week at work. Never took him out of the theater. So just a talking family here, crying family here, empty movie theater. One of the worst experiences of my life. One of the worst. Sorry. Yo. Whoa. As soon as I talk about, when I talked about that mental breakdown I had, and I go, this was the worst. One of the worst movie-going experiences of my life. I should say that. One of the worst movie-going experiences of my life. I hated Coco for the longest time. I watched it years later at this point. A couple years later, just to be like, all right, this was a good movie. But your experiences at the movies, they color it. They really color what's going on. If you have a bad, I can think of a theater full of people who probably hate the Dark Knight series. It's just the experience you have at the theater. That's a huge part of it. Part of what makes a movie great, I mean, I talked about this earlier, but Spider-Man being in the theater when everyone was cheering for everybody was great. That was a great experience. I loved it. Avengers, Endgame. Oh my God, that experience was nuts. Hangover, seeing that in the theater. Insanity. Shrek 2, another great movie experience that I remember. But, bro, Coco, man. Coco. How do we feel about the new Matrix? I hadn't seen it. All my friends tell me it's bad. I was telling because my friends were excited. They're like, I can't wait. I was telling them from the trailer it was gonna be bad. Now I've only seen the first one. Haven't seen the second two. Haven't seen 2 or 3. But my question is, why is he doing the first movie stuff again? Why does it feel like a reset? He has to choose between the red and the blue pill again? He has to be brought out of the Matrix by fucking discount Lawrence Fishburne again? He has to learn how to fight in that weird dojo place again? Why again? Why? What? How? If the storyline has progressed, how is he back to where the first one is? Does he see the Oracle again? Do they make it any different? Is it still a spoon? Did they at least make it a fork? Did they at least switch it up a little bit? Oh, the fork isn't real. I would have been like, at least that's something. But why is it the same thing again, dude? That makes no sense. It makes no sense. I was watching the trailer like, yo, this is going to be bad. And guess what? From what I've been hearing, it's bad. Yo, these remakes, I can't think of one remake that was dope. What was one remake that was like, this was great? I'm glad they stopped having original ideas for this. Because that's what that's my problem. It's like with the Matrix. That's my problem. It's like all these studios are like, okay, this made money in 99, so we got to make it now. What? No, it made money in 99 because it was a new idea in 99. That's what was mind-blowing about The Matrix. You know what's not mind-blowing about The Matrix? Seeing it again, but everyone's 20 years older. That's not mind-blowing at all. Also, the visual effects aren't as mind-blowing because, like, back in Matrix time, it was like, whoa, I can't believe they're doing this. Now it's like, bro, I've seen Iron Man, I've seen Spider-Man and come back to life. Visual effects-wise, you gotta blow my mind to really get me. What remake was good? So many TV remakes. Oh, Will and Grace is back. Will and Grace is back. I remember that. I remember seeing a billboard in LA when Will and Grace came back saying, you guys asked for it and we listened. We're bringing Will and Grace back this fall. It's like, who was asking for that? I don't think the most diehard Will and Grace fan was like, I hope Will and Grace comes back. No one was asking for it. It's just who wanted this? What was this? Why? Duh. You know? I can't sit up straight. I set it up. I'm a little bit crouched because like I set up my camera all weird and I was too lazy to fix it. But why, dude? Why? Who is this for? Who is this for? I wonder how much money it made. Let's see. Like, is there because it came out streaming, right? It didn't go straight to Matrix Resurrection opening weekend numbers. Let's see. Oh, 22 million. Okay. Matrix Resurrections cost to make 190 million. Huh. So it bombed. It bombed super hard. Super hard. How much did Spider-Man make opening weekend? Oh, well, already, as of 2 days ago, Spider-Man No Way Home crosses $1 billion at the box office already. You know why? Because even though they're characters we've seen before, it's a new story. It's something original. Marvel, it feels like, is the only one making original stories right now. And as far as the big Hollywood blockbuster level. Of course, there's like indie movies and like Nomadland, whatever. But as far as like the stuff that's sold to us is like, here's a blockbuster movie, it feels like the only original is Marvel. What were the other two big movies that they were pushing this weekend? Matrix Resurrections and West Side Story. Hey, you know what we didn't need? Another 1950s version of West Side Story. Why don't you make a modern day West Side Story? A modern day. I don't know. What would the gangs be? I don't even know what a modern day, Oh yeah, make one a Crip, one a Blood. Make it. That's probably gonna get racist though. Although it's a story about race, so it wouldn't work. Make it about class, Rich guy, poor girl. Rich girl, poor guy. Rich girl, poor guy is a little more socially unacceptable. Rich guy, poor girl is more socially acceptable. In terms of how the aristocracy marries. The American aristocracy, anyways, marries. Rich guy, poor girl is way more acceptable than rich girl, poor guy. They're both pretty unacceptable to the rich family. I'll say that. They're both pretty unacceptable. But yeah, dude, I don't need to. I feel like I rail on remakes over and over again. But yeah, coming down from this mental break, baby. I think I was in like a manic episode for like 3 days, if I'm being honest. But yeah, it's it is what it is. It is what it is. What else to talk about? Let's see what happened in the new. Nick Lozalito. I read the article. You read Nick. So Nick, longtime infidel, original infidel, sent me this great article about this story about how this guy who ran a PJ Tour event got kidnapped in the 1960s. Got kidnapped. And I was going to do a lot about that. I was going to spend time reading, and I was going to look up stuff about the article, too. And then that happened, so I'm going to push it back to next week, Nick. I'm sorry. But I'm going to push it back to next week, because there was a couple people you brought up, a black golfer that I thought was interesting in the 60s. I was like, okay, because I wanted to read around it a little bit, too. But I read the article. It's really good. Here, let me give you guys the article names if you want to look it up. At the very least, you can do that. Nicholasito. It's called Sunol Valley, SUNOL, Sunol Valley, parentheses, the Bay Area kidnapping that launched the PGA Tour. That's what it's called. But yeah, wild. Just a random kidnapping in this like weird time where the PGA Tour is the golfers is trying to split away from the PGA Tour, create their own tour called the Amateur Professional Golfers. I guess I'm talking about it now. So yeah, this sort of second league, and the PGA Tour has to sort of work with the golfers, sort of like the strike that's going on around everywhere with workers now. The golfers thought they were getting screwed. The PGA sort of got it together, sort of got their shit together, and yeah, It's hard to explain. I don't know if actually, maybe I won't do it next week. I'll definitely have to. I am curious about, what it got me curious on, and this is what I'll talk about next week. It did get me curious on other black golfers because I only know Tiger Woods, and it just brings up one here that's like I've never heard of him, and it seems like he's like a pioneering black golfer. Sorry, someone just sent me this picture of straight up 9/11, dude. So much. It's the picture of the ranking show that we did. I do a ranking show. Check out my Instagram. Every week on my friend's Twitch, we did top 10 days today. I usually record this before the ranking show. I had to record afterwards because I just flew in today. But yeah, black golfers, dude. I was on a golf course once. I saw 3 black golfers golfing towards me, and I was like, "Better be racist than sorry." So I called the cop. No. That's what this episode's gonna be called. It's a lot of rambling this episode, not a lot of structure. Because it gives us like, what's the big thing that happened? Oh, that's the big thing that happened. But I'm gonna call this episode "Better Be Racist Than Sorry." Because sometimes, bro, it's better to be racist than sorry. Yo, if you saw a Chinese person eat a bat, would you then let him sneeze on you? Real shit, dude. You know what I mean? If you saw a Chinese person eating a bat and then he started sneezing, I think you'd be like, "I'm a dip. I'm a leave this party. I shouldn't have been at this party anyway. Why are they eating bats?" You know what I mean? If you saw a guy who looked like me hijack a plane, you'd be like, "This guy's up to something." Oh, I saw this on the plane today. Some guy got on the plane, no carry-ons, dude. No backpack, no duffel bag. Hey, why are you letting serial killers fly like this? Dude, nothing more sociopathic than just walking on an airplane with nothing. Dude, I had, first of all, my flight here was all children and all barking dogs. It was insane. But even the children had those little, the little rolly backpacks and their little cute backpacks and their little stuff that they hold, because they're family. They want to hold stuff with their family and they want to seem important, cute kid shit. So even they didn't walk up on a plane empty-handed, dude. The guy in front of me, nothing. Dude, he got to security and he just walked past the belt and into the metal. I have TSA pre and I go to the metal detector. I don't go through the cancer thing anymore. I just go through a metal detector. Because that's how you know that, by the way, that's how you know this is bullshit. This right here, that's bullshit because I paid $80, a one-time fee to join TSA pre, and I just get to walk through the metal detectors. So, for sure, those things are bullshit. But needless to say, this guy walked on, no backpack, no personal item, no carry-on, just straight raw dogging the plane. I've never seen that. I've never seen anyone raw dog a plane before. And yo, that guy for sure, sociopath and or psychopath or both. I don't know what the difference is, but it's that guy. That guy is both. To raw dog a plane like that, excuse me. You're raw dogging a plane. Bro, get some stuff, dude. Get some stuff. You're checking everything. Dude. That guy, bro, I'm going to see that guy in the news. That guy, oh my God. I've never seen anyone raw dog a plane before. Wild, bro. Wild. Maybe it's more common than I think, but to straight raw dog, I can't. Nope. Nope. Get out of here with that. Get out of here. Always get on a plane with protection. With protection, he says as he hiccuped. I'm looking at my water bottle and it's just so far away. It's like, oh, I should get it, but like, I'm at 40 minutes too, so it's like, oh, I'm almost done. You know what I mean? I think I can. Dude, I had so many. Oh, dude, on one of my layovers here, yo, I think this was the Charlotte airport. I I go to the bathroom. There's a guy in the bathroom. His entire job is to show you to the stall to use, clean the stall before you get in, and then let you into the stall. I only describe his job is to be a poop usher. He's a poop usher. As I left, he was like, I hope you have a great day, sir. Are you having a good day, sir? And I was like, better than yours, that's for sure. Mr. Poop Usher. I didn't even poop. I just go, you know what's crazy? I just go, I go to the airport toilets and take off my mask and just breathe for a little bit. I'm like, poop smells. I need it. I need it. I needed it, though. I was a 4-hour layover. It was a 2-hour flight, 4-hour layover, 5-hour flight after that. I don't like wearing the mask at the airport, but if it's, a direct flight is fine. The layovers get a little tough. If it's not like a quick changeover, it's like I had the mask on for like 10 hours that day straight. Too much. I need to go to the airport I need to go to the bathroom to breathe. And it feels, which kind of sucks because the bathroom feels like the only place the mask for sure is working. For sure. Like I can feel the mask working in the bathroom. Absolutely. In fact, if on any road trips, I'll probably bring a mask with me just for any public restroom that I use. For sure it comes clutch in that situation, but I needed to breathe, dude. On the plane, it seems ridiculous. We're packed in there as sardines. Packed in there like sardines. And if you've ever been on a middle flight with the mask on for 5 hours, you're just like, bro, just fucking give me AIDS, dude. Just give me AIDS, dude. Give me all of it. Give me all of it. It's the worst. Dude, that guy raw dogging a plane. That's what I'll call this episode. It's probably called raw dogging a plane. But dude, that guy raw dogging the plane, dude. Raw dogging the plane. Straight raw dog, bro. Straight raw dog. Didn't trust him. Side-eyed him the whole flight. He was like 6 rows ahead. It doesn't matter. Look, I looked over the seats. I was like that. I was side-eyeing him. I was like, bro, I don't trust this guy. God. As much as I don't like the mask, I think the thing that I hate the most is when I see someone not wearing a mask at the airport because it's like, bro, just look. I don't like wearing the mask when I fly, but wear the mask at the airport. Don't fucking ruin my day because you want to make a stand here. Make a stand somewhere else. It's just the rules, bro. No one likes it. Just follow it here. At least here. Because I know you're like, you want to fight tyranny, and I get it, but like, you think this is where you're going to fight the government? You think the government gives a shit about what you have to say? Guy in boarding group 7? You think the government really cares? You think they're going to be like, oh, wow. This guy in the last boarding group on a flight from Las Vegas to Orlando, he's bringing up some good points. You think you're the one they're listening to? Get out of here, dude. Just put on the mask and let us go home. Just let us go home. We lost this one, okay? Just let it go. We'll probably have to wear masks at the airport for the rest of our lives, and that sucks. I get it, but the only way things will change is if the people in first class were like, we don't want to wear a mask. And then you know what they would do? They would be like, okay, if you have first class, you don't have to wear a mask. That's all that's going to change, bro. They've got us there. They've got us. They've lost. They've lost. Oh, we've lost. Sorry. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, you're in boarding group 7, homie. Because I don't, I'm triple vax. And you know me, I don't give I'm not a big like, oh, are you vaxxed? But like, bro, the guy not wearing the mask at the airport, I'm eyeing him. I'm like, you better not be coming to my gate. You better make another plane deboard, not my plane. Just eyeing this guy walking by with no mask. Like, just, dude, take your stand at gate 26. Move past gate 25, baby. Hopefully your stand's over in Terminal E, because Terminal B, I'm going home. We're wearing masks. Terminal B wears masks. Terminal E, them some wild boys. They out there raw dogging the plane and stuff. And Terminal E, that's the raw dog. That's the raw dog terminal. That's what they, That's what they call it. Terminal B, bro, we wear masks and we have carry-ons. That's what we do in Terminal B. Just eyeing him. Just like, bro, don't get on this flight. I want to go home. I'm done. It's a 4-hour layover, dude. 4-hour layover. I'm watching this guy potentially ruin my flight home. Dude, take one for the team. Take one for the team like everybody else is doing. Take one for the team. I'm out here breathing in a toilet so I can take one for the team. Oh, man. But yeah. That was my week. Dude. It was a wild one. Hopefully next week it'll be a little more lighthearted. Watch me have like a complete psychological withdrawal. That's another thing. People say there's no withdrawal symptoms. There's no physical withdrawal symptoms from weed. I'm definitely not gonna like crave it, or I definitely don't need to taper off the weed, or like alcohol, where it's like if you just stop cold turkey alcohol, you could die, especially if you're a heavy alcoholic. Yeah, if you're a heavy alcoholic and you need to stop, you're like, I need to stop drinking, you gotta taper it off, because if you just stop cold turkey, it can kill you. Weed won't, but there's definitely some mental stuff going on here. For sure, dude. But, you know, it is what it is, my guy. Dude, that dude was raw. It's like, bro, you're just gonna go out into the airport with nothing? You know how suspicious? You know how suspicious that looks to have nothing walking? It looks like you left your shit somewhere, dude. Even if I had no carry-ons, bro, I'd bring an empty backpack and buy stuff, just to be like, no, like, look at me buying stuff. Buy a book or something. I don't know. Get a Kindle if you swung and missed on a gift. Get a Kindle for your loved one. You know, I'm glad you guys stopped by for this week. It was very nice of you. I love you, infidels. I love you. This comes out tomorrow. I'll probably be at the Death Squad show. I don't know if I'm going to be on the Tony Hinchcliffe New Year's Eve show at the Vulcan. I'm putting that out there that I will. I'll be in SF for Sketchfest on the 14th and 15th. Comedy Oakland on the 15th. And on the 14th, I'll be... I should open with my dates. Next week, I'll do that. On the 14th, I'll be at... I don't quite know yet where I'll be on the 14th. Just look on my Instagram for that. I'll definitely be... Sorry. That's gross. My lips are dry. You just sort of saw me bite my lips. I did it to you again. I'm sorry. This is gross. Bad habits. You got to start kicking him somewhere. You know, you got to start someday kicking him. Maybe, you know, first the weed, then the lip picking. Creek in the Cave, New Year's Eve on Austin. Creek in the Cave, the 8 o'clock show. I'll be on that, and then on the 7th, I'll be in the Velveeta Room at 8 p.m. with Andrew Murphy. I'll repeat these dates later as they come. But yeah, this week, probably Death Squad on Thursday. And then on New Year's Eve, I'll be maybe at Vulcan, but definitely at Creek in the Cave at 8. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining me this week. I'll see you next Wednesday, guys. Love you, infidels. Peace in the Middle East. Bye.